Okay, in this video, I want to show you how to put on a square corner bead. Now, putting on a corner bead is really straightforward, but there are a few points that I want to point out. Okay, so the first thing is the corner bead. Ideally, you want to use what's called paper-faced corner bead. So it has these paper flanges. The alternative would be like a metal or plastic one. Because they don't have these paper ones, they don't fuse to the wall, so you could get a crack there with the metal or the plastic. So I use the paper faced because it fuses to the drywall, and it's way less likely that you're ever going to get a crack along your corner bead. The only time that you're going to get a crack on your corner bead is if you had some major house shifting or an earthquake or something like that. Alright, so your drywall compound or your mud consistency, so you're going to want to be using an all-purpose or a taping mud, and you kind of want it thin like that. Too thick and it's just going to be hard to manage. Okay, so I apologize for this warped camera view, but it's the only way that I can show you the full length of the corner bead at once. So the easiest way for a do-it-yourselfer to put on the mud is to just lop it on like that. That's the easiest way. If you have more experience with a knife, you could put it on the way I would, like this. But it's not that much slower just to put it on like this. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up. Okay, so we've got a nice good coat of drywall compound there. And now before I put the corner bead on, I'm going to do something. I'm going to fold back those paper flanges just a little bit. The reason why I'm going to do that is that when I go and put this corner bead on top, the flanges being pulled back can now just sit on top of that mud. If they were how they were like before, like this, they could have a tendency to slide under the mud. I don't want that because I want them to sit on top of the mud so that the mud is underneath the corner bead and not pushed off to the side. Okay, so when putting on a corner bead, get it up to the top and then wiggle it in. If you wiggle it in, you'll just get the corner bead to sit flatter with the wall, and that means less coating afterwards. So I wiggle it in, and then I'll take my finger and I'll run it up like this. This just makes it a little easier when it comes to wipe with a knife. And finally I check and I make sure that the corner bead has remained tight up to the top, because sometimes when you're doing those steps, the corner bead can actually fall downwards. So you want to make sure it's kept up. Okay, so when wiping, don't overlap your knife over top of the corner bead. Get the edge of your knife right about there. And then wipe upwards. That way you capture the mud as you're wiping. If you wipe down, you're just going to cause the mud to drop on the floor. So wipe up. Okay, so I dropped a little bit, that happens. Okay, now with it wiped, here's a really critical part about putting on a corner bead, is checking its alignment. The reason why is because when you're wiping a corner bead, the corner bead could get pushed to one side or the other, and what that means is you'll have a big gap on one side, and then this side is no gap, and it can be really difficult to coat it if it's leaning on one side, and you might actually never get it perfect because you'll have to put a whole heap of mud on this side, whereas this side doesn't take any mud, and you'll just always see that roughness because it's hard to cover that. It's kind of hard to explain that part, But if you did put some corner beads on and you had it leaning off to one side too much, and then you come to coat it, you'll quickly see what I mean about the trouble that that can cause. So here's the fix for that. Put your knife up against the corner bead and make sure that you can see light coming in on both sides. And then just adjust the corner bead as needed. Check the entire length of the corner bead because it could be fine on the top, but then on the bottom it's twisted off to one side, so it'll need to get twisted back to be balanced. Okay, so with that done, then the corner bead is finished. I'll let that dry up and then we're going to come back and we're going to coat it. Okay, thanks for watching.